Hi there, I'm James Faulkner and welcome to this video series on trends within wealth management. I'm pleased here to be joined by Will Ferrand, our Performance Director. Hi Will, thanks for joining.
Hi, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Good stuff. Will, talk to me about the transfer of wealth and estate planning if you can.
Sure, so I think people talk about the greatest transfer of wealth ever happening over the next 10, 20 years, and there's always a huge focus on millennials, and I'm a millennial, so I think we're very important. But actually, a lot of this transfer of wealth, if you think of who it's going to be to, it's actually going to be to Gen X, which are sort of 40 to 55-year-olds. But they still have different requirements. Like millennials, they're huge adopters of technology. There's actually a report that came out recently from Pew Research that said that while 93% of millennials in the US have a smartphone, 90% of Gen X do. So they're very similar, and this was illustrated to me when I was on a hiking holiday in Scotland in the summer with my wife. I know I like bad weather, that's why I brought the rain with me yesterday. But on this holiday, we popped into a restaurant for lunch, and there are these ladies that must have been in their mid-50s at the next door table having a catch-up lunch, and it was crazy. The entire conversation was about which Netflix show they're watching. Have you checked out this new app? Look at this video on my phone. It was all they talked about at lunch. And so if you think about the fact that people want information on their phones, they have their TV shows on their phones, I can have different currencies on my mobile phone. Getting a sort of quarterly report from your wealth advisor on how your investments are doing isn't going to be enough. If I had $1 million to invest, which sadly I don't, but if I did, I'd want to be able to access it, see exactly, how much am I paying in fees? How's my money doing? Where's it grown? How's it grown? Yeah. That's really information I'd want to be able to look at.
Yeah, quite. Explain a bit more, if you don't mind, in terms of when a transfer of wealth does occur. What can wealth management firms do to keep hold of that client? Do you see them transitioning or do you see them staying?
So it's an interesting one, and I think yet again it's looking at the sort of different requirements between generations. There was a report by EY that said that around 30% of people had changed advisor in the last 3 years. And so that can also be an advisor leaving as well as a client leaving the firm. And when an advisor leaves, they will bring their clients with them. So they have two aspects they need to look at. One is offering different things for their clients. So we've sort of touched on the technology side, being able to offer more information on your wealth, but maybe offering different investment ideas. So looking at ESG, I mean, we look at the Extinction Rebellion stuff. It's huge. It's a huge topic at the moment. Looking at cryptocurrencies, do they offer cryptocurrencies to their clients? But also offering a better environment to their wealth advisors, so that they're more likely to stay with the firm. So making sure that they're happy. There's a huge regulatory burden now. Giving them a better experience and giving them good tools so that they can really be happy and stay with the firm.
Interesting. And very lastly, Will, in terms of the costs for transferring wealth, fees, are they going to be incurring big fees? I mean, if you can explain a little bit more about the fee side.
Yes, I think with regulation, firms are having to be a bit more transparent in terms of the fees they're charging, which also puts a squeeze on fees. And so that means that going digital is going to be an important thing. Firms are going to have to cut costs. And so does that mean that your wealth advisor has to look after more clients? Or do you try to take some of the burden away from the wealth advisor and have more sort of self-serve options for the clients, of looking at digital solutions? So it's a real challenge for the banks, and I think that those that adapt and embrace technology, embrace digitalization, are the ones that are going to survive and sort of thrive in the long run.
Perfect. Very insightful. Thank you so much for your time, Will. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.